Kevin Costner breaks silence on controversial Yellowstone finale dubbed worst in history. Kevin Costner has admitted he's trying not to think about the Yellowstone finale, following intense criticism from fans. The popular drama series came to an end last week after 6 years and tried to deliver plenty of drama, with Beth Dutton, Kelly Riley, even murdering her brother Jamie Dutton, Wiz Bentley. However, fans have been sharing their disappointment ever since it aired, with many calling the finale the worst in television history. Kevin was not involved in the last episode, with his character John Dutton being killed off earlier in the season in a fake suicide. However, the 69-year-old actor has shared his thoughts on the episode. "I'm not thinking about the Yellowstone finale. I don't think I've given it any thoughts. We'll just let it go," he told the Daily Mail. Yellowstone's season finale saw Case Dutton, Luke Grimes, follow through with his plan of saving the ranch by giving it away as he sold the property to its rightful owners, the Broken Rock Indians. Elsewhere in the episode, Beth and her husband Rip Wheeler, Cole Hauser, bought a new ranch after she murdered her brother as they started a new chapter together. Fans had hoped for more tense scenes from the finale. "Dumb ending Yellowstone TV." One fan fumed as another blasted. "That was probably the worst final season in television history." One person even suggested the Yellowstone finale was worse than the controversial Game of Thrones ending. It is official. Game of Thrones is no longer the worst final season of any TV show ever. Yellowstone has taken that award. What a disaster of a final season. Another person posted, "I felt like it was entirely too rushed. The whole season, the guys leaving, everything. The plot with Jamie and the kill for hire was way too rushed. It ended way too quickly and easily. Just all around felt like it was a lazy, last-minute put together." Kevin Costner, the legendary actor and linchpin of the Yellowstone phenomenon, has finally broken his silence on the series finale that fans and critics alike have branded as the worst in history. In a candid interview at a quiet ranch just outside of Santa Barbara, the actor opened up about the divisive conclusion to the neo-Western drama that has captivated audiences for 5 seasons. Sitting in a chair as worn and rugged as his on-screen persona, Costner appeared both contemplative and resolute as he addressed the firestorm that has engulfed the show's ending. A legacy in question. "I've always believed in storytelling that resonates," Costner began, his voice steady but tinged with a hint of regret. "When we set out to make Yellowstone, it was never about tying things up in a neat little bow. Life on a ranch, life in the West, it's messy, unpredictable. But I'll admit, even I didn't see it ending like this." The finale, which aired to record-breaking ratings, drew a sharp divide between viewers who felt betrayed by its abrupt and unresolved arcs, and those who appreciated its raw and unflinching portrayal of life's uncertainties. For Costner, who has not only starred as the patriarch John Dutton, but has also had a significant creative voice behind the scenes, the reception was a bitter pill to swallow. John Dutton was a man who had lost almost everything by the time we reached the end. He said, "That's not the story most people want to see, but it's the story we felt needed to be told. The question I keep hearing is, why? Why let it end this way? And all I can say is that sometimes the land decides the fate of its keepers, not the other way around." Behind the curtain of creative disputes. Costner's comments also shed light on the behind-the-scenes turmoil that plagued the latter half of the series. Rumors of creative clashes between Costner and showrunner Taylor Sheridan have swirled for months, with some insiders alleging that these disputes contributed to the show's polarizing conclusion. For the first time, Costner addressed these allegations directly. "Taylor and I have always had a spirited dynamic," he revealed, choosing his words carefully. Great art often comes from friction, and Yellowstone was no different. Did we agree on everything? No. Did that make the story stronger? I'd like to think so. But there were moments where I wondered if we were losing sight of what made the show special. When pressed about the specific creative disagreements, Costner hinted at differing visions for the Dutton family's fate. I fought for John to have a moment of redemption, he admitted. Something that would give the audience a sense of closure. But Taylor was steadfast in his belief that the West doesn't owe anyone a happy ending. It's a hard pill to swallow, but maybe that's why it's so powerful. The fans' backlash. The Yellowstone finale has been described by fans as a betrayal, unforgivable, and a slap in the face. Social media has been ablaze with memes and commentary, ranging from humorous takes on the Dutton family's demise to impassioned calls for a rewrite. For Costner, the backlash has been both painful and humbling. It's tough to see something you've poured your heart into being met with such anger, he confessed. But I also think it speaks to how deeply people cared about these characters. You don't get that kind of reaction unless the story has touched something real. It's a double-edged sword, but I'd rather people feel something than nothing at all. One particularly contentious point for fans was the unresolved arc of Beth Dutton, played masterfully by Kelly Reilly. Beth's fiery spirit and unrelenting loyalty to her family made her a fan favorite, but her storyline in the finale left viewers in shock. Costner, who shared many intense scenes with Reilly, was quick to defend the creative choices. Beth is a survivor, he said, leaning forward in his chair. Her journey doesn't end just because the show does. If anything, I think the finale set her up for a life beyond the chaos of the Dutton Ranch. It's not the ending people wanted for her, but it's the ending that stays true to who she is. Moving forward. As for his own future, Costner remains optimistic. While Yellowstone may have ended on a controversial note, the actor's career shows no signs of slowing down. He's currently in pre-production for Horizon, an ambitious multi-film Western epic that he describes as a love letter to the genre. Yellowstone was a chapter, not the whole book, he said with a faint smile. There are so many stories left to tell, and I'm excited to dive into what comes next. The West is in my blood, and I'm not done exploring it. When asked if he would ever consider returning to the Yellowstone universe, perhaps in a spin-off or prequel, Costner's answer was characteristically enigmatic. Never say never, he replied. But if I do, it would have to be for the right reasons. The story would need to be one worth telling. A divided legacy. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the rolling hills behind him, Costner reflected on the legacy of Yellowstone. This show was never about easy answers or perfect endings, he said. It was about life in all its beauty and brutality. If people are still talking about it, still arguing over it, then maybe we did something right. At the end of the day, that's what storytelling is about, sparking a conversation. Whether time will soften the sting of Yellowstone's finale remains to be seen. For now, Costner seems content to let the story speak for itself, flaws and all. And as he stood to leave, tipping his hat in a gesture as timeless as the West itself, it was clear that the actor who brought John Dutton to life remains as steadfast as ever in his commitment to the art of storytelling.